Hello. I guess I don't need to tell you what you're looking at here. Paris is known for many monuments, but I think this is the only one that has 2.5 million rivets in it, and the only one to have attracted, since it was opened in 1889, something like 250 million visitors. But if you explore it a little bit, it's not just an icon. It also is a symbol of quite a history. So we're going to ask a few questions about it. First question is, who was the guy who designed and built it? A man called Gustave Eiffel. Let me show him to you here. He was a civil engineer in the middle of the 19th century and was a very innovative man. The Industrial Revolution was in full swing, therefore steel was becoming more and more important, and he was a main architect in the use of steel. In many places in France there are bridges, walls, and so on, but not only in France. Let's move to South America. This was the main train station and now a bus terminal, believe it or not, in La Paz in Bolivia. Go round to the other side of the world. Here is a bridge that Eiffel designed and built on the Perfume River at Hue in Vietnam. He also worked in Portugal and a number of other places. He did not build any complete structure in the United States, but he did do the internal steel structure. Can you guess what that is? That was built near where we are right now, or at least the parts were put together, by a sculptor called Bartholdi. And that is the Statue of Liberty, what she looks like, or looked like, before she had clothes on. Another question, why was this thing built? As we'll see later on, some people considered it to be just a monstrosity, a horrible thing. Well, it was built for 1889, which was the 100th anniversary of the taking of the Bastille and the beginning of the French Revolution. And the country's leaders wanted something symbolic, but that wasn't looking backwards too much. And you can't get more forward-looking in 1887 when the building began. Can you believe that it only took 2 years? Wow. And I can also tell you that the workmen got extra pay because it was pretty dangerous, although nobody was actually killed during the construction. Nobody fell. But if the political inspiration was for the centenary of the beginning of the French Revolution, what was the architectural inspiration? Well, believe it or not, some of it at least came from the United States. You've probably seen or heard of at least the Washington Monument. That was designed for construction on the 100th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence of the United States in 1876. Well, money ran low, and it wasn't finished until 1884. Now that looks pretty huge, right? It's something like 600 feet tall. When I was younger, I once walked all the way to the top, and boy, was I exhausted. The Eiffel Tower is 1,000, more than 1,000 feet tall. Well, was there another inspiration? This looks pretty classical in stone, right? Masonry. Also, for the commemoration of the 100th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, there was this project drawn up by two American architects to be erected during the International Exhibition in Philadelphia, 1876. You don't recognize it. It's a good reason. There was never any money to build it. But I think it's fair to say that Eiffel drew direct inspiration from this, and particularly the apparent steel. The Eiffel Tower was the tallest human structure in the world from 1889 until the Chrysler Building was built in 1929-1930. It broke the record for height, but not for long, because the Empire State Building came along very soon afterwards. There's a rather nice turnabout. Eiffel worked on the Statue of Liberty in New York, for New York, and the American architect of the Chrysler Building, a man called Van Allen, you know where he studied? Well, right here in Paris. And I'm sure he looked at the Eiffel Tower from time to time, if not every day. That's the end of our first module on the Eiffel Tower. We'll pick up again very soon.